Inspirational and motivational quotes by Henry David Thoreau. I learned this, at least, by my experiment. That if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams, and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Rather than love, than money, than fame, give me truth. How vain it is to sit down to write when you have not stood up to live. The question is not what you look at, but what you see. Dreams are the touchstones of our characters. I find it wholesome to be alone the greater part of the time. To be in company, even with the best, is soon wearisome and dissipating. I love to be alone. I never found the companion that was so companionable as solitude. You must live in the present, launch yourself on every wave, find your eternity in each moment. Fools stand on their island of opportunities and look toward another land. There is no other land, there is no other life but this. If you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundations under them. Books are the treasured wealth of the world and the fit inheritance of generations and nations. Do not be too moral. You may cheat yourself out of much life, so aim above morality. Be not simply good, be good for something. If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. Let him step to the music he hears, however measured or far away. All good things are wild and free. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately. Our life is frittered away by detail. Simplify, simplify. Read the best books first, or you may not have a chance to read them at all. Live in each season as it passes. Breathe the air. Drink the drink, taste the fruit, and resign yourself to the influence of the earth. I would rather sit on a pumpkin, and have it all to myself, than be crowded on a velvet cushion. I learned this, at least, by my experiment. That if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams, and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Disobedience is the true foundation of liberty. The obedient must be slaves. The greatest compliment that was ever paid me was when one asked me what I thought, and attended to my answer. Nothing makes the earth seem so spacious as to have friends at a distance. They make the latitudes and longitudes. As if you could kill time without injuring eternity. I was not born to be forced. I will breathe after my own fashion. Let us see who is the strongest. Things do not change, we change. There is no remedy for love but to love more. Our truest life is when we are in dreams awake. The cost of a thing is the amount of what I will call life which is required to be exchanged for it, immediately or in the long run. Not till we are lost. In other words, not till we have lost the world, do we begin to find ourselves, and realize where we are and the infinite extent of our relations. Heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads. If we will be quiet and ready enough, we shall find compensation in every disappointment. Any fool can make a rule and any fool will mind it. A man is rich in proportion to the number of things which he can afford to let alone. Every generation laughs at the old fashions, but follows religiously the new. All men want, not something to do with, but something to do, or rather something to be. The language of friendship is not words, but meanings. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. As you simplify your life, the laws of the universe will be simpler. Solitude will not be solitude, poverty will not be poverty, nor weakness weakness. What is the use of a house if you haven't got a tolerable planet to put it on? An early morning walk is a blessing for the whole day. Could a greater miracle take place than for us to look through each other's eyes for an instant? Only that day dawns to which we are awake. There is more day to dawn. The sun is but a morning star. This world is but canvas to our imaginations. When I hear music, I fear no danger. I am invulnerable, I see no foe, I am related to the earliest times, and to the latest. It is never too late to give up your prejudices. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. How many a man has dated a new era in his life from the reading of a book? It is not worth the while to let our imperfections disturb us always. I say, beware of all enterprises that require new clothes, and not rather a new wearer of clothes. Write while the heat is in you. The writer who postpones the recording of his thoughts uses an iron which has cooled to burn a hole with. He cannot inflame the minds of his audience. The most I can do for my friend is simply to be his friend. There are 1,000 hacking at the branches of evil to one who is striking at the root. Pursue some path, however narrow and crooked, in which you can walk with love and reverence. Say what you have to say, not what you ought. Any truth is better than make-believe. If you would convince a man that he does wrong, do right. But do not care to convince him. Men will believe what they see. Let them see. I had 3 chairs in my house, 1 for solitude, 2 for friendship, 3 for society. Take long walks in stormy weather or through deep snows in the fields and woods. If you would keep your spirits up, deal with brute nature, be cold and hungry and weary. I can alter my life by altering my attitude. He who would have nothing to do with thorns must never attempt to gather flowers. It is not enough to be industrious, so are the ants. What are you industrious about? The universe is wider than our views of it. Every morning was a cheerful invitation to make my life of equal simplicity, and I may say innocence, with nature herself. I have an immense appetite for solitude. like an infant for sleep, and if I don't get enough for this year, I shall cry all the next. All change is a miracle to contemplate, but it is a miracle which is taking place every instant. Wildness is the preservation of the world. The path of least resistance leads to crooked rivers and crooked men. Friends, they cherish one another's hopes. They are kind to one another's dreams. Amid a world of noisy, shallow actors, it is noble to stand aside and say, I will simply be. Amid a world of noisy, shallow actors, it is noble to stand aside and say, I will simply be. Men have become the tools of their tools. Public opinion is a weak tyrant compared with our own private opinion. What a man thinks of himself, that it is which determines, or rather indicates, his fate. On the death of a friend, we should consider that the fates through confidence have devolved on us the task of a double living, that we have henceforth to fulfill the promise of our friend's life also, in our own, to the world. I should not talk so much about myself if there were anybody else whom I knew as well. We are born as innocents. We are polluted by advice. Men are born to succeed, not to fail. Thank God men cannot fly, and lay waste the sky as well as the earth. I have, as it were, my own sun and moon and stars, and a little world all to myself. When we are unhurried and wise, we perceive that only great and worthy things have any permanent and absolute existence. That petty fears and petty pleasures are but the shadow of the reality. If a plant cannot live according to its nature, it dies, and so a man. If a plant cannot live according to its nature, it dies, and so a man. What sort of philosophers are we, who know absolutely nothing of the origin and destiny of cats? That man is the richest whose pleasures are the cheapest. Simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. I say, let your affairs be as 2 or 3, and not 100 or 1,000. Instead of 1,000,000, count half a dozen, and keep your accounts on your thumbnail. To be a philosopher is not merely to have subtle thoughts, nor even to found a school, but so to love wisdom as to live according to its dictates. A life of simplicity, independence, magnanimity and trust. I have no doubt that it is part of the destiny of the human race in its gradual improvement to leave off eating animals. It is better to have your head in the clouds, and know where you are, than to breathe the clearer atmosphere below them, and think that you are in paradise. Books must be read as deliberately and reservedly as they were written. I make myself rich by making my wants few. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you've imagined. As you simplify your life, the laws of the universe will be simpler. You must live in the present, launch yourself on every wave, find your eternity in each moment. Renew thyself completely each day. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. What does education often do? It makes a straight cut ditch of a free, meandering brook. It is not that we love to be alone, but that we love to soar. And when we do soar, the company grows thinner and thinner until there is none at all. We are not the less to aim at the summits, though the multitude does not ascend them. This curious world we inhabit is more wonderful than convenient, more beautiful than it is useful. It is more to be admired and enjoyed than used. I have a room all to myself, it is nature. If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. The keeping of bees is like the direction of sunbeams. In human intercourse the tragedy begins. Not when there is misunderstanding about words, but when silence is not understood. Every path but your own is the path of fate. Keep on your own track, then. Do not hire a man who does your work for money, but him who does it for love of it. Happiness is like a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it will evade you. But if you notice the other things around you, it will gently come and sit on your shoulder.